G'day everyone, today we're going to talk about product design. One of the questions that has appeared quite a number of times is actually relating to a product I was developing a while ago, a portable hobby box where you can take your hobby with you but pack it up really easily, but it all unfolds into a usable setup. And quite a few people, Zelda's Fox and Grey Wolf Dracon has asked multiple times, are you still working on the mini painting box? Whatever happened to the mini painting box you were making? So in this video, I want to share a product that I've started developing that I would love your input and help with, and also to know if you think I should make it. Before we do that, let me rewind back on the journey that I took with the hobby box and update you on where that ended up. This is where it all began. This is my portable hobby box. This was my initial prototype and it was just based on what I had available to me at the time. The most useful thing, of course, is that the whole thing just packs up neatly, quickly, and when it unpacks, it's ready to use. That's 01. So 03, let me just try and remember how this works. So as you see with this one, I sort of made notes as I went on some of the issues. One of the major differences between these two is we've added these supports here. It's actually held up really well. Let's skip ahead. This is one of the more recent designs. This is an average size table. And if I'm trying to create a product that suits people's average workspaces, and really is a solution to not having a lot of space to set up, this isn't working. Point is, I stopped developing because as soon as we started to look into manufacturing, it became apparent that if we were manufacturing in-house, it would then turn into a situation where we were essentially trying to ship from Australia giant bricks of wood. So that's not cheap. It just hit too much resistance for it to be worth my time to continue to pursue. That doesn't mean I'm letting it go, but it is a pause. So they're the 9 prototypes we have here. There's actually a 10th, which is the current one, which is a polished, highly usable one that I use all the time. Problem is, well, making it and sending it out. However, I've got another project that I've started on that I want to bring you guys on the journey for. Okay, I am currently working on a bag. So it started off with a sketch. This is modeled on a bag I got many years ago. It's seen a lot of love. I've used this thing a lot. It was really, really useful, but also there were just little things I would have loved to have changed. Plus, it was pretty old and haggard and I can't get a new version of it. I was brainstorming actually with the folks over at Smart Art, Reed and Brenda, and we were starting to chat about the idea of making an entirely custom bag. So this was the first sketch I sent. The idea being we could put some sort of custom art. I liked the idea of doing like a grayscale with a nice like white trim or outline around the front cover to make it a little more custom. Look when it's opened up, and the idea was that in that top pocket here, that it could come with an internal marker insert that you can organize all your markers in and remove them without them falling around and getting messy. So I sent them that sketch, I'm gonna say late last year. And I got a delivery a couple months back, but hadn't opened it, not realizing it was the first ever prototype. And I wanted to open that with you guys. Well, it's open because I looked at it. It's in the flesh. I actually have the first ever prototype. It's really, really exciting. The first thing that struck me is like, it's a little too big. So this was designed to be able to hold a lot, but I also carry a lot and use a lot and need a lot, and not everyone does. But for my own use, the idea of it is that in this large pocket, you can take a large laptop, like a gaming style production powerhouse laptop, fit that in comfortably with extra room. There's this padded compartment, so you could actually put your laptop in there and it's super protected. Oh, it's so good. And then that's separated from all the loose stuff you have in there. So I do think this is a little too big. We could half the width of that space in there. The other thing I wanted to do was create this separate bottom pocket for power cables. So the idea is this bottom zip up area is basically just to shove stuff that you want shoved out of the way. This is the biggest power brick that I can possibly find. So here's the test. So, okay, it's snug. It's still a friggin' huge power cable, but at the same time, like that's done up. That is out of the way. I had already, as an experiment, loaded up the marker container. So this is what it looks like loaded up. And by the way, these are the Illustrator Spectrum Noir markers. So they're quite thick and it still holds those, which I was pretty happy about. I might take out a row of these and put in Copics just so you can see the way that it might hold either. Because I think a lot of markers share a similar form factor to Copics. So it's pretty comfortable with either. But the cool thing is you can have it out or, of course, in. and you can reach all of your markers and see all of your markers even when it's in the compartment. This compartment here, the idea being that can be where like pens or loose pencils or even like a charging brick goes. And of course, we have all the other compartments. There you go, there's two 16-inch tablets. So it fits fine if that's what the use is for, or you could put it in the padded compartment. But I guess then the use case for the back compartment would either be stuff you want to grab on the go or a smaller tablet. You have the option to, you know, if you have travel documents or whatever. And then you have these side compartments. There's so much, but like I'm kind of obsessive about compartmentalizing and sort of structuring and organizing stuff, but it also might be too much. And I know it feels quite large in the hand, so I think I should probably wind it back a little bit. But I really want your feedback on a couple of things. One, what do you like or what would you change about this prototype? Two, would you prefer a smaller bag? This is a bag I really, really like, but it's not quite the right size or makeup for a regular usage. In particular, a half-size sketchbook is just a little too snug. It can get in there and then it can't zip up. Plus, I like magnet snapping and this is just zips. There's nothing wrong with that, but maybe you don't like magnet snapping. I don't know. I actually really want to open this up to you guys because next week, I am going to sketch the next iteration of this. I'll probably shrink the size of this one a little bit unless everyone watching this says, I want it that big or bigger. But I also think, and maybe a lot more people would prefer something like this for art on the go. But even if you like both, let me know which one you want more. Please let me know if and what any of it appeals to you in terms of something you might buy or specifically kickstart, because I cannot confidently jump into a venture like this and say, yes, let's order a bajillion of them and realize I made a bag that is perfect for me and no one else. So I really want to develop this so that I can create something that a lot of creatives out there would really see themselves using. This video is where it starts. You are literally going to be impacting my future product design for this and make it either possible or help me realize the reality that maybe this is a little too niche, and that's fine. You know, in the past, I've done some of these boxes or I've developed an app or whatever it is, and I'll bring it out and be like, I'll share the final product. I'm really excited about creating a product with you. And there will be things that you will say that will end up in the final design, that will end up in my next prototype iteration that we can share in the vlog and show when they arrive. I'll show you my sketch and I'll show you what they send me. We can take that through the steps until we find the perfect product to carry your art and craft, your technology, or your creativity with you, and then maybe kickstart it, maybe see if the world wants it. I think to really drive home the fact that this is definitely a very personal project, let me just ring my mum to have her explain my obsession with bags. Hi mum, you're on camera, I just thought I'd let you know.
How can I be on camera?
Just your voice, mum.
Oh.
I just want to get your honest memory of me and my art bag, or what you mentioned I always had a bag I carried around with me.
It was a backpack and it had your drawing stuff in it, paper, pens. I don't know what else was in it. It wasn't light. It definitely was full of stuff. All I ever saw you doing out of it was your art. And honestly, we lived 30 minutes out of town and you would not make that trip without having your drawing stuff with you. And if we started leaving the house, I'd be backing out of the driveway and say, Mum, I forgot my bag. And it was so funny. You wouldn't go anywhere without it.
Cool. I'm glad. I just wanted that confirmation that I've been obsessed with carrying my stuff with me for a while.
Oh, constantly.
All right. Thanks heaps, Mum. Love you. See ya.
Bye-bye. Love you too. Bye-bye.
So there you go, hard proof that all my life I've been obsessed with carrying everything with me and having it organized. I want to make a bag with your help that anyone who gets it will feel empty and naked without their bag with them, with all of the possibilities of creativity with them at all times. Help me out. Let me know in the comments what you love, what you hate, what you want to see, what we can do better, and bring your ideas to the table, and maybe together we can bring it to the world. Could be really fun. Let's go!